Czech Republic, a country known for its stunning castles, world-class beer, and cobblestone streets straight out of a fairy tale. But what's it really like to live here? Let's start with Prague, the crown jewel of the Czech Republic. If you've never been, let me paint a picture for you. Prague is like a living, breathing storybook. Its streets are paved with cobblestones, and its skyline is dotted with medieval towers, cathedrals, and castles. Walking through the city, you'll see why they call it the City of 100 Spires. The architecture is an incredible mix of Gothic, Baroque, and Renaissance styles, making every corner feel like a piece of art. The Charles Bridge is one of the most iconic spots in the city. Stretching across the Vltava River, it's lined with statues of saints, and at sunrise or sunset, it's an unforgettable sight. And then there's the Prague Castle, the largest ancient castle in the world, which overlooks the city from the hills. Inside, you'll find the stunning St. Vitus Cathedral, a Gothic masterpiece that took nearly 600 years to build. It's not just the capital of the country, it's the cultural heart of Central Europe. But Prague isn't all medieval wonder, it's also a thriving modern city with a rich cultural scene, buzzing cafes, and a surprisingly lively nightlife. Don't forget to check out Old Town Square, where you'll find the famous astronomical clock, the oldest working one in the world. Now, while Prague gets most of the attention, the Czech Republic has a lot more to offer. For a country this size, there's a surprising amount of diversity when it comes to places worth exploring. Take Brno, for example. It's the second largest city in the country, and while it doesn't have Prague's tourist crowds, it's a hidden gem for architecture lovers. The city is home to Villa Tugendhat, a UNESCO World Heritage Site and an iconic example of modernist design. Brno also has a thriving tech scene, which gives it a younger, more laid-back vibe. The cafes are packed with students, and the streets are buzzing with creative energy. And then there's Český Krumlov, a small town in southern Bohemia that looks like it was ripped straight from the pages of a fairy tale. Picture winding streets, colorful Renaissance buildings, and a massive 13th century castle overlooking the river. It's one of the most charming places in Europe. And surprisingly, it's not overrun with tourists. For those who love the outdoors, you'll want to head to Bohemian Switzerland. Don't let the name fool you, we're still in the Czech Republic. It's a stunning national park known for its dramatic sandstone rock formations and lush green valleys. Hiking through here is a must-do for nature lovers, and if you're feeling adventurous, you can even kayak down the river. There's also Karlovy Vary, a picturesque spa town that has been famous for centuries as a place to relax and rejuvenate. It's filled with colorful 19th century buildings and natural hot springs that are said to have healing properties. Even today, people flock to Karlovy Vary for wellness retreats in the town's International Film Festival. So while Prague might be the star of the show, the Czech Republic has a lot more to explore, from modern cities to ancient castles to pristine natural parks. If you're living here or even just visiting, don't limit yourself to just one destination. Every corner of this country has something unique to offer. Let's talk beer. If you're moving to the Czech Republic, you better get used to hearing the word pivo. The Czechs take their beer very seriously. After all, they've been brewing it since the 10th century. Fun fact, the Czechs have the highest beer consumption per capita in the world. Yep, even more than Germany. But here's the kicker. Beer is often cheaper than bottled water in many restaurants. And we're not talking your average brew. Czech beer is some of the best in the world. Brands like Pilsner Urquell and Budweiser Budvar originated here. In fact, the word Pilsner comes from the city of Pilsen in the Czech Republic, where this world-famous style of lager was born. Now, this doesn't mean everyone's walking around with a pint in their hand, but it's not uncommon for Czechs to enjoy a casual beer at lunch. They'll probably tell you it helps with digestion, which, to be honest, could just be an excuse. Living in the Czech Republic isn't just about the sights and the drinks. The country has a rich cultural history that goes back centuries. From the Bohemian Kingdom to its role in the Holy Roman Empire, the Czechs have seen it all, and their traditions reflect this. Let's start with name days. Forget birthdays for a second. In the Czech Republic, your name day, the day of the saint you're named after, is almost as important as your birthday. So if you're planning on making friends here, don't just ask for their birth date, find out their name day too, and be prepared to celebrate. Another quirky tradition, carp for Christmas. Yep, while the rest of the world might be roasting turkeys or hams, many Czechs are preparing fried carp. It's a long-standing tradition, and around Christmas, you'll see giant tanks of live carp in the streets, ready to be taken home for dinner. If you're feeling adventurous, you can buy a live one and keep it in your bathtub for a few days. Some families even treat it like a temporary pet before the inevitable Christmas feast. But here's a heads up. If you're planning to settle here, learning Czech will be crucial. Sure, you can get by with English in the big cities, but outside of Prague, Czech is the language of choice. And it's not the easiest to learn. There are 7 cases in Czech grammar, and the word ano, which means yes, sometimes just turns into a grunt like no when Czechs are casually chatting. You'll get used to it, eventually. Okay, let's get practical. What's it actually going to cost you to live here? Spoiler alert. Compared to other European capitals, the Czech Republic, especially outside of Prague, is still relatively affordable. Housing, if you're looking to rent in Prague, prices are rising, but still manageable. A 1-bedroom apartment in the city center will run you around 20,000 koruna, about $900 per month, but outside the center, you could get the same for closer to 14,000 koruna, $630. If you're thinking of buying, real estate prices are on the rise. You're looking at around 120,000 koruna per square meter in central Prague, about $5,400 per square meter. Public transport is excellent, especially in Prague. A monthly pass for unlimited travel on trams, buses, and the metro costs about 550 koruna, around $25. If you're driving, gas prices are in line with the European average, so budget accordingly if you want to explore by car. Taxes. The Czech Republic has a flat income tax rate of 15%, which is pretty friendly compared to other countries. There's also a 21% VAT on most goods and services. If you're living outside Prague, everything from rent to groceries will be significantly cheaper. But even in the capital, you can live a comfortable life without breaking the bank, especially compared to cities like London, Paris, or New York. The Czech Republic has a bit of a work-to-live philosophy, which is definitely refreshing. The standard work week is 40 hours, but the culture leans more towards productivity rather than overworking. In fact, you'll find that many Czechs value their free time, and it's not uncommon to take long vacations during the summer months. While salaries might not be as high as in Western Europe, the cost of living balances it out, and you'll have more disposable income than you might expect. Plus, the country's extensive maternity and paternity leave policies are a huge bonus if you're starting a family here. And let's not forget, the Czech Republic has over 12 national holidays, which means plenty of long weekends to explore the beautiful countryside or head to a nearby European city. While most people associate the Czech Republic with its incredible architecture, the countryside is just as jaw-dropping. Whether you're hiking in the Kirkenos Mountains, wandering through the Makosha Abyss, the deepest sinkhole in Central Europe, or paddling down the Vltava River on a sunny afternoon, you'll find that the Czech Republic offers a surprising variety of outdoor activities. And here's something the guidebooks won't tell you. Czechs love mushroom hunting. Yes, mushroom hunting is a national pastime, and come autumn, you'll see whole families disappear into the woods to collect mushrooms for soups and stews. It's a skill passed down through generations, and even the locals won't always share their favorite spots. They're that secretive about it. So there you have it, the real deal about living in the Czech Republic. From its stunning landscapes and rich history to the hidden quirks that make this country so unique, there's a lot to love and a few challenges to navigate. But if you're ready for a life that balances history, modernity, nature, and an endless supply of excellent beer, the Czech Republic might just be the place for you. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe for more content like this, and let us know in the comments what you'd love to learn about next. See you in the next adventure.